Hello there fellow humans and welcome to this video, and today I want to talk about the Centurion Mark 5.1 and the T95E2 as well. So, they're in the shop right here for 12,500 gold, which I guess out of the current bundles is probably the best, I suppose, for the price delivery value. So, that is not too bad. But I'd say, let's play a battle. So we're here in the battle with the Centurion Mark 5.1, and as you can see, I'm platooning with someone because I played this game during sub-platoons. Information about those sub-platoons will now no longer be on Wednesdays. If you want to be informed about those, join the Discord server. You'll know everything about those as well. But yeah, let's talk about the Centurion 5.1, if you liked and subscribed yet, that is. Hopefully, but anyway, let's talk about the 5.1 now. It is like the Centurion 1, but better. You have 190 alpha damage, which is quite the biggest stance of this vehicle, because everything else is very nice about it. You have very good mobility, the turret armor is nice. It's quite a big tank. The front armor is, well, not great, but you have gun depression, so you can play it hull down very well, and that is great. But, as I said, the massive downside to this tank is the alpha damage. You can't really trade with anyone or anything. For example, that AMX 5100, I do 190 damage to him. He could do 300, and he could basically pump 900 damage into me by the time I reload. So that is not great. But the upside of having such low alpha damage is that you can keep people perma-tracked when they're tracked. The downside, obviously, to that as well is you're going to need more shots to damage the modules, because obviously if you have less alpha damage, you have less module damage, and modules also have health. You know, you can't see those, but all the modules do have hit points as well, and obviously if you do less tank damage, you also do less module damage, which isn't great. And that is the biggest answer to this vehicle. But other than that, it is, I think, one of the best tier 8 medium tanks that you can get in the game, together with the Chimera. Now, we're gonna also talk about the Progetto here, because that one's in the shop right now as well. Which one of those two should you get? Now, obviously, the base price is the same, 8.5k. And in terms of performance, I think they're somewhere the same as well. However, it is a lot harder to get that performance out of the Progetto, I guess, than this one, because the Progetto has a lot less armor. It also has the auto-reloader, so you're going to have to play a lot more around with that. Obviously, the upside of the Progetto is that you can unload the clip a lot faster, and you don't have to peek as much as you can do with the Centurion. So, there is that. Now, which one should you buy? Well, I guess if you're a good player, it depends on which one you would rather have. If you're not such a good player, I will go with Centurion, because it's just a bit easier to play, right? Because it has more armor, it's more forgiving, stuff like that. So yeah, and obviously for the Centurion, I would certainly recommend buying it together with T95, because even though the T95 is kind of a donkey, if you are a good player, you can make that thing work as well. We're going to play it later though, so let's talk about the Centurion first. If you buy the Centurion on its own, I don't know. Maybe. Sure. 10k is a lot for one tank. It's always a lot for one tank, because imagine what you could buy for those, like, what is it, 35 euros, something like that? Not sure. So, you can always buy a lot of things. So, is this thing worth an entire different game? That's in your eyes, and that's always something that you have to know. Obviously. So, it is certainly a very good tank. It is a nice tank to play. It is fun to play. It is not that hard to play, so even as a below average player, you might get something out of the Centurion. So that is nice. That is one of the tanks I can recommend buying, I guess. If you want it. If you don't want it, if you're hesitant about it, don't buy it. And then, in that case, I would certainly wait for Black Friday, you know, because then you can get a lot better deals. Just wait for Black Friday, basically. If you're not sure about whether you want it or not, wait for Black Friday. And then this thing, obviously, you get it as free add-on. Well, 2,000 gold extra. Is it worth 2,000 gold? Well, sure. It's not that shit. It has very good DPM on a tank, which is nice. The penetration sucks, unfortunately. It's only 180 base pen. There's a guy over there. That's unfortunate, because he got shot. Yep. There's 3. What the hell? That is a lot. That is unfortunate. Gonna have to go back off. Now, the armor on this thing is plot armor, which means it's only gonna bounce something if it wants to. It's not like the Centurion where you can like reliably go hull down and stuff like that. You can't do that in this tank. However, you have more alpha damage. Centurion got better pen, which is something I probably should have mentioned earlier, but if you made it till this point of the video, then thank you. So let's see what we can do. I guess the Centurion obviously is the better tank out of these two. And you're only buying this as an add-on. Mate, you're supposed to pen me. I'm trying to present the viewers this tank as a mediocre option that might be a decent tech tree tank, but that isn't really something that should be spent money on, and that's kind of what it is, really. But you're getting it in that bundle with a Centurion, which is fine. You know, it's, in that regard, I'd say it's probably a good deal, but obviously, in the end, you have to know what you want to buy, and if you're not buying a lot, which a lot of you will, a lot of you aren't going to buy a lot of things in the game. You know, a lot of you either can't afford it or don't want to spend a lot of money in the game. In that case, I would certainly resort to tanks like T95E2, the MX-M49, but also the Centurion. I think the Centurion is in that list of tanks that you might want to have, even if you're not spending a lot of money in the game. If given you don't have the Chimera. If you already have the Chimera, doesn't really have a point buying. Now, obviously, there is also a video made by Wargaming that told people to go on this side of the Rockfield map, so I kind of blame Wargaming for this, unfortunately, but that is just Wargaming, I guess. And yeah, what should you learn from this video? The end is, which one do you buy is up to you. I'm not gonna force you into buying either. Basically, if you want the Centurion, I'd recommend this bundle right here with the T95 as well, because then you get 2 tanks for the price of 1, basically. If you want the Progetto instead, then that is also a pretty good option. But obviously, for the Progetto, if we go here, you're going to have to pay a slight bit more. And then also you have the Action X here. So which one would I buy out of all these that are here for the end? Not the Turtle, obviously. I'd say the best bundle at this moment is probably the Centurion and the T95, even though the T95 kind of sucks, because this is a lot more expensive. The ML1951 isn't very impressive. The ML1 is better. The Action X is the same price as 2 tanks here. If you're not such a good player, I would definitely stay away from any of these tanks here. But if you're a good player, I'd probably go for this one. But then again, it's your decision, it's your money. Please spend it wisely. Be aware that Wargaming is always trying to make the best offer for them, not the best offer for you. And with that horrible disappointment, that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you for the next one. Goodbye.